guys, how's it going? How was your weekend? My weekend was so good. We usually have such a busy Saturday with so many sports for all the kids, and then Sunday we try to keep open for just rest or going out into nature or just doing whatever we want to. And today's Monday. I'm so excited to talk to you. I have a really good question for you guys today that will help you get to know yourself better and help you comfort yourself and also help you to take care of yourself better. And the question is, what's going on for me right now? So I'll tell you the background of this question, and you'll see where I'm coming from. But this question, what's going on for me right now, is something you can ask yourself when you are wanting to snap at the kids, right? If you want to eat some junk food, if you're going on your phone a lot and checking your Instagram and Facebook, if you're just eating, if you're binging, if something's going on for you if some activity that you're doing that you don't want to be doing, you can take yourself aside, take yourself to the washroom, take yourself in a different room and ask yourself. And this is what I'm inspired to tell you this about because of my weekend, because of Sunday and this morning. So as you guys know, I've been in this program of Brando O'Malley's program to lose weight. And a big part of losing weight is finding ways for me to comfort myself without food, right? But in order for us to comfort ourselves without food, we first need to know that we need comfort or we need something, right? So this is where I have a plan, right? That I will eat certain foods, I will eat what my body needs. And if I am craving something like peanut butter, I love peanut butter, right? If I'm craving something sweet or peanut butter or just something that's not what my body needs, not vegetables, not meat, and if I'm craving it kind of in a weird time of the day, then I get curious. Then I get start paying attention. I'm like, oh, what's going on for me right now that I'm actually wanting this? And so often every single time it's not about food because it is about something else that's going on for me. So this Sunday, we had nothing planned. We have no activities planned. And later in the day, throughout the whole day, I kind of was noticing that I was craving food and craving just any kind of food. And so I was in the middle of kind of living my life all Sunday until later in the evening. Because I was curious all day, I started finding the answers to why I was craving food all day. And here's what I discovered about myself is that having nothing planned for our Sunday was triggering thoughts in me that were causing a little bit of anxiety, actually. So my thoughts were, oh my gosh, we have a whole day. I don't know what we will do. This is just one of these thoughts, like, I don't know what we will do, is actually something that causes a lot of frustration for me. And this is why I'm sharing it for you, is because I want you to pay attention. And if you might have the same kind of flavor of thought, and just getting to know these thoughts will begin the work of comforting them, begin the work of actually choosing a better thought or a better feeling thought. So this is why I am exposing these thoughts that I'm having, because I am certain that if I'm having them, then you are also might have them. There's one person out there, and I believe if you're listening, you're that person who needs to also pay attention to these thoughts. Notice how you feel when you have these thoughts, and then once you know that you have them, then you can do something about them. You can kind of comfort them. You can see them for what they are. They're just a thought, just a sentence in my head that creates this feeling of anxiety, right? For me, it was also a thought a little bit of an overwhelm because everyone's home. I have a large family and little kids, right? So stuff is everywhere when they're playing, from breakfast, from dinner. So I have noticed yesterday, right, as I was getting curious about my cravings for food, to comfort myself, and I didn't comfort myself, then I discovered that stuff everywhere is actually something that my thoughts keep landing on the stuff, right? I'm looking around and I see this, and all I keep thinking about, okay, this needs to be put away. Why is this here? This is too much stuff. Toys everywhere, right? Thoughts that create overwhelm. Okay, so no wonder I was wanting some comfort because I was experiencing anxiety and overwhelm, right? And then to add to that, as I'm just thinking, also the noise of the children, right? If you have a lot of children, you will know. Even if you have two children, I'm sure you have sometimes very loud situations that people just, I don't think we are always comfortable being in, right? So again, with the noise is something physical that we sometimes get tired of physically, right? So the reason why I'm sharing this, right, is so that you can become aware of the triggers that you have for you. What are the thoughts that you have that create anxiety and overwhelm for you that can lead you to yelling at your kids, snapping at your kids, eating junk food, going on your phone, right? What's actually happening is that you are what's going on for you, right? Let's use that question. And that's what I did for me yesterday all day and this morning. I was asking myself, what's going on for me? Because this morning, again, I was wanting some food, but I wasn't hungry. And I was actually wanting to be snappy at the kids. I was a little bit snappy, but I didn't yell at them. And so I took myself out to a different room and I ask myself, what's going on for me? What's actually going on? Because the food is never, ever a solution to that problem, right? Because the food cannot solve the problem that I'm feeling, like for overwhelm and anxiety, right? The food is only a distraction, and food actually creates a whole new problem, right? A whole new problem of overweight and being dependent on food for comfort, right? Because that comfort from food is only temporary, and then creates a whole new problem of being overweight, and then you have all these thoughts to deal with overweight, right? So I want you to also remember that question, what's actually going on for me, right? Take a step back and ask yourself that, what's going on for me? How am I feeling? And like, if I'm acting in such a way that is kind of distracting myself or numbing myself, then what's going on for me, right? And you have to be brave enough to not comfort yourself with food and not go on Instagram, to feel pretty bad, to step aside and actually tell yourself the truth, right? And so I hope that by me exposing some of my thoughts that I don't like being with, thoughts and feelings, I want to distract myself. I hope that you get more familiar with what's going on for you. And you know what? My prediction is, just from coaching a lot of people in my life and coaching myself, I predict that your thoughts won't be that different in topics than mine, right? They might be worded differently, but the flavor and the theme of the thoughts will be very similar, right? Like thoughts that create overwhelm for us are usually something along the lines of, there's too many things and we can't do them all. Or I have a lot to do, but I don't have enough time, right? Or this is just too much, right? So overwhelm is always associated with something that is a lot of something, and then also you're incapable of doing it, right? Because if we had thoughts like, oh, there's a lot of stuff and I can get it done, then we don't create overwhelm, we create capability, right? So notice all of these variations of these thoughts. So that's my goal and my hope for you, that by listening to these thoughts and feelings that I'm sharing with you today, you can also get curious about yours, get to know them. And once you know them, then you can start comforting them, right? For example, this is what I did. I took myself aside and I realized, okay, all right, I feel overwhelmed by a lot of stuff. Great. Now that I know this information, I'm going to go clean the place up. I'm going to tidy it up. Instantly, I felt better. I instantly went into action and knew what to do. And I started enjoying the products of my labor and of a clean house, a tidy kitchen, and that was solved instantly. And notice how it wasn't solved with the food, right? It was actually solved with a solution that focuses on the problem of my feeling, right? On the root of the problem, right? And of course, I can think thoughts like, if I see an empty, like a messy room, right? I can think thoughts that this is totally fine, this is not a big mess. Because remember, our thoughts are the ones that cause our feelings, right? So my thoughts were like, oh my gosh, this is too messy, too much stuff. And I could choose to think different thoughts about it. But you know what? Sometimes it's easier to just clean up the room than change a thought about it, right? And that's just what I did. In other, for my anxiety problem, right? My anxiety wasn't coming from my empty day. My anxiety was coming from my thought. I don't know what we're going to do today. We should figure it out, right? So then once I got to know, once I realized that that was my anxiety that was coming from this thought, then it was easier to switch thoughts than to change my day, right? And the way I changed my thought was simply to decide, okay, we're going to do this right now, right? And so notice, I went from thinking, I don't know what we're going to do, to we will do this right now. And once I thought that we will do this right now, or even before I organized my family, I told myself, I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to get dressed, put my makeup on, tidy up, make breakfast. Once I thought these thoughts, I felt focused and clear. So I solved my problem and I went to the root of the problem, which was my thought, and I made a decision. And making a decision is simply thinking a different thought, right? And deciding, okay, I'm going to think this and I'm going to do that, right? And that's what I did. So for you, once you get to know what are your, what's going on for you, then you can address the root of the problem. You can either change the circumstance, you can decide, okay, I'm going to clean up the room, and then I'm going to have a clean room. Then will feel good because I will think, oh, this looks nice. Or you can look at the thought and realize, okay, this thought is creating my anxiety. I could think something else. What could I think, right? And if you ever need help with these thoughts and feelings, if this is too complicated for you, this is what I'm here for. I am here to help you simply feel better. And I'm giving you these examples about these everyday specific life situations, so that you can see an example of what it looks like to be coached, but also to be able to coach yourself once you have the skill. And the same thing applies to our relationships. The same thing, exactly, because our relationships are thoughts about the other person. So if you are struggling with your son, this is what I'm here for. I can help you take a look at what all your thoughts are about your son, and then help you feel better about that relationship without having to change your son or yourself. Okay? And if you are stuck with it, this is why we have other people like me, a coach, other coaches who are trained to work on these relationships in your brain. This is what our specialty is. This is what we do. And so I am here for you so you can have an amazing relationship with your son and enjoy it for the rest of your life. And once you learn the skill of creating love and connection for your son on purpose and getting rid of all the other unwanted feelings and thoughts that you have about your son, then you will be able to apply this to any other relationship in your life with anyone, really. And this will also transform your relationship with yourself, because just like I described today, if you are able to get in touch with yourself and ask yourself, what's going on for me? You will be able to prevent yourself from nagging on him whenever you don't want to, from snapping at him, from yelling at him, from trying to helicopter parent him, from trying to control him, from trying to manipulate him. You will be able to do all that simply by learning how to manage your brain. So I am so excited for you to have that relationship. So if you're ready, go to my website. You can sign up for a free session. And this is how it would work. You sign up for a free session with me. We would get on a Zoom call. I would send you video details. And then we would meet. And you can tell me everything about your relationship. And then I can tell you whether I can help you or not. And then we decide how long, you can decide how long you want to commit to working on this. And then we get to work. And then you learn, and I share with you how you can manage your brain so that you can create that relationship with your son today. You don't have to wait any longer, and you can enjoy the relationship today. Enjoy it today for the rest of your life. So go to my website, www.coachingnatalia.com, and then go to sign up for a free session, and just pick a time that works for you. I am here for that. I am a coach who helps you get the relationship you want with your son and never ever look back and feel guilty or worried about the future. All right? Okay, guys, I love you all so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, and one more thing. Could you please, if you love my podcast, if you find it helpful, please go to Apple Podcasts or whatever app you're listening on and give it a review. Share with a friend. I would really appreciate it. It would just help more people find this podcast. Thanks so much. Bye.